So, Porsche has left Russian market. And so far, this is the last Porsche car sold in Russia, which is called Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT. Ta-da! First of all, if you haven't seen any of our previous videos, I'd rather recommend you watch this test drive. It was about a hybrid Cayenne, and that was the car I really liked a lot. It's torquey, I like how it drives. That was just an amazing car. In my personal opinion, that's one of the best crossovers on the market, at least among German cars. It's so balanced. So why didn't I buy it? I already own a BMW X5, so there was no point in spending money. But if I didn't have it and had to buy a car today, I would definitely buy myself some Porsche. Anyways, the sneaky guys from Porsche came up with a thought that they've got too many of these unused 4-liter biturbo engines at their warehouse. Engines they actually put, like, everywhere. I'm already tired to enumerate those cars. And the only difference between them, if we talk about the power, is just the software settings. I mean, there's some software engineer sitting in one of the offices, and he's like, what's that, a Bentley? Let's make it softer. You want me to make it more flexible? You are welcome. And all of these manipulations they're making with one and the same old good engine. Okay, soon they promise to give us a new Porsche Cayenne. But before this one dies, they decided to come over to the software engineer office and say, hey, Four Eyes, finally it's time to make something outstanding, like a really fast car. So he did. Okay, so far I haven't floored it a single time, so I don't really know how this car is gonna behave itself. But as long as I drive it, neither I found anything surprising, nor I faced a single disappointment. It seems that this car is gonna be incredibly boring in German way, made with precision and quality. Because each Porsche is one of those automobiles that never got any issues with gaps between body panels. That's why I simply can't nitpick here. Even if I check 50 cars, every single one of them is gonna be same perfect. Porsche's quality control is out of this world. It's phenomenal. It's just incredible, and the only reason how I can explain it is that they must be having there some guy like me, who every day comes to work and starts yelling on everyone like, what's this? What's wrong with the seals, and the gaps, and the paint? And the guys start redoing everything from the scratch. Okay, let's get acquainted. The Sport mode. Here's the Sport Plus. That's strange, check this out. I keep my foot on the brake pedal and change the driving mode only, and the car tries to move. The rev gets higher when it's Sport Plus. Do you see it? I'm hungry. Let's go get a kebab. The car feels solid and very balanced. It's not tight as a fist, but like a strained, tense palm. The car holds the road very good. And the main thing, which I consider its advantage over BMWs, and I mean the X5 and XXM, this car is comfortable, and also it doesn't confuse you with some false expectations. For example, when you get inside of a Lamborghini Urus, you expect that car to be incredible, you expect it to be insane, but what you really get is, when you get inside of this car, you just expect to drive it. But as soon as you press the gas pedal harder, it surprises you because it gets going. And there it is, the only good thing about it is the ZR Performance logo. It reminds me of good fellas who work in that tuning company. If we talk about its appearance, I like the back of the car. First of all, I like the look of the exhaust pipes and I like how they sound. But what I like most is that when it's in comfort mode, the car stays quiet, it doesn't drag much of attention, and I just calmly drive it as a regular car. Oh, hello there. How are you doing? I foresee an interesting maneuver. And what are you supposed to do in the rightmost lane? Occupy the bus lane? Now I see. Sorry, we're not doing the same. We are good and well-behaved drivers. We obey the road rules. We despise lawlessness and chaos. Right until the moment we turn our trickery on and get a cunning achievement for passing everyone from the left. Switch the car to Sport Plus, and still without breaking road rules, we stop our car in the leftmost lane. The only thing we need now is to have this Mercedes to get out of the way. Come on, come on, come on, move right, move right. That's it, that's exactly what I wanted. And hello once again, how are you doing? I have come here to chew bubblegum and show you what this Porsche is capable of, and I'm all out of bubblegum. So after the preventive maintenance with this Mustang is over, we can finally continue our quiet ride. I hope he understood everything. At least he looks like he calmed down, and I seem to have prevented multiple systematic violations on public roads. When I see such a thing, I immediately try to put them in place. So now we're calmly driving at 45 miles per hour. It's just a little bit over the limit, but that's okay. The speed limit is 40, so that's just nothing. Well, unfortunately, his patience didn't last too long, and again he speeds up, searching for a new rival, I may assume. Individuals like that are quite responsive to re-education. You just look at that, he systematically crosses the bus lanes, and he does that on purpose. And continues to break road rules, and now he drives into oncoming lane with half of the car. God damn it, who drives like that, bro? Of course we're not gonna be showing your plates. But without a doubt, that was very uncivilized, man. This Porsche actually provokes you driving calmly, because it's very comfortable. The BMW X5 doesn't do that because it's stiff. I don't think such a suspension fits there. It's just too much. But this Porsche is a completely different thing. First of all, it's lighter. At least it feels lighter than a hybrid car. That hybrid car still felt like an elephant. But this car really feels light. And its steering is so good. It's light as a feather, and it perfectly holds the road. When you exceed the speed of 90 miles per hour, this car becomes a completely different beast. It seems that it can become lighter. It becomes more sporty and much more steerable. And I have to admit that in its class, this car is balanced much more better and steers much more better than any of its competitors. This car behaves itself better than BMWs. This car behaves itself better than a Lamborghini Urus. It's just perfect, and I would even call this feature Porsche's corporate signature. Incredible. It's an amazing car. I can say that if you are searching for a crossover that's really able to get going and stay comfortable at the same time. I jumped out. That's what I like powerful cars for. When they get in such a situation, they're able to get out. I mean, if you have at least some skills, this car will help you to get out because it's got good steering, holds the road, and with some experience and skills, it will pull you out of any situation. Because sometimes it happens, you just may get distracted and get into a similar situation when you have to react fast, when you've got no other option. Of course, you can always brake expecting someone to hit your ass, but it's much better to floor it and get out. And this car is good at this, because it's capable. This car is capable of doing any sharp movement, any geometrically or physically unexpected coordination my brain can imagine. So I like this car, but you have to be aware that it may become boring inside of it. I mean, the car itself is fun, but it may be boring to drive it. And of course, if you drive like a pensioner, you don't really need this car at all, because it's the car for people who really have some driving skills and who understand what they're paying for. And this red button over here, it reminds me of some Fast and Furious movies when they press their buttons and activate nitrous oxide. So if you're lagging behind and suddenly understand that you have to overtake everyone and you urgently need your car to immediately switch into some spit out pistons mode, you can always press this magic button. It's 140 miles per hour in this turn. 150. It's doing it without problems. But the thing is that a 10 years old BMW X5 does exactly the same thing. check engine. Does it feel like something's wrong or is it just delayed? I don't know. I released the gas pedal immediately and stopped accelerating. 165. 170. 175. 185. Well, this car is capable, but for some reason, it's really hard to explain why. But even despite this car as being faster, because according to different reviews, it's supposed to be faster than the X5 and X6M and many other cars, it doesn't feel faster actually, or at least it feels harder for it to reach its top speed. For a hybrid Porsche, it felt much easier. I often call Porsche cars balanced, and I really believe this word fits here best, because only they are capable of making such a seat that is not same aggressive with its shape like a BMW CS seat, but still, despite being a sports seat, it's comfortable for a long distance trip. Have no idea whether it's gonna be same comfortable at the racing track, but we'll see. But I'm driving it for half a day, and it's very comfortable. We came to our favorite ADM raceway. We often come here to shoot our test drives, like this for example. Yesterday we started arguing, right after we made our drag measurings and saw this.
60.
It's 3.6 seconds.
60.
3.5.
60.
And 3.6 again. Do you know, guys, what these numbers actually mean? It means that my wonderful ass always feels it better than any device. It understands when it's 3 seconds and when it's 2.9, and that explains why I didn't feel this car like something evil and insane. Because it's not. And since it got 3.5, it means that my good old golden fart that's being on its way to the car service, because it showed us a check engine light and that's not good for sure. But without a doubt, when I get it back, it will still be able to kick any car's ass, even if it's a Porsche or any other expensive car. And that means something to me. Okay, it's not only speed that matters, and this car is fast, but it's not damn fast. At least it's not that fast you may think for its price. I wish I could remember how fast was that hybrid Porsche. Did we drag it? Nope, you said we should trust your S-meter, so we did, as we actually always do for the last 2 years. So after this, guys told me there's a video and I should check it out. Don't worry, I'm gonna show it to you. This is it. And that is why I agreed to test this car once again on a different asphalt, with a different temperature at a different time, under different circumstances. So let's try. Right now the car is in a regular drive mode, so let's switch it to the S. And the car started. Now I switch it to the S+, and the revs get higher. The car prepares itself for some hardcore and lowers the suspension. And so, it's 3.9. 3.9? So what? Shall we agree with yesterday's results now? They say this car is a competitor to a BMW X5M. A BMW X5M is far from being called a comfortable car. It's got a stiff suspension and some people sell it for that reason. Especially if they drive their kids at the back seat. It's just not comfortable to be a passenger there. This Turbo GT is way better. And it looks different. But still, it's unclear what purpose this car should serve. I wonder whether they wanted to make a more serious and uncompromising automobile for those who like fast driving. Or this car is just a regular marketing ploy that was made for earning money exclusively, and they hope it's gonna become popular. And I'm inclined to the second version because same thing actually happened to a BMW M5 CS. And frankly speaking, I have nothing against it. But talking about a CS, they pulled lots of stuff out of it and made it lighter, and the car really became faster. The car really became cooler because it got a different software, the engine operating range is different, and the way the suspension works is also interesting. That's why the car became cool. But this car I consider incomplete and not finalized. It should have got more racing seats. I think they should have made it more aggressive, much more aggressive, and also make it lighter. And this engine should have got not less than 700 horsepower. You see what I mean? That's what they should have done. But they haven't because they can't, simply because they've got Lamborghini. And since Volkswagen Group owns Lamborghini, they don't want to make it compete with Porsche, simply because otherwise people will stop buying it. That's why I think that the potential buyers of these Porsche GTs are the fans of the brand only the people who admire Porsches. The people who already have a good collection of Porsche cars. I'm more than sure that they're gonna buy it. I doubt it's worth its money, at least not on a straight. That's why we have to find out how it feels on a circle. These tires are cool, but the suspension shows some strange behavior. I'd like it to be more stiff, more like that BMW M5 CS way. Well, it tries to slide off the road, even though these tires are one of the best you can possibly get, Pirelli Corsa, that usually get completely erased in 10 laps. Okay, let's be honest and objective, I don't see anything legendary here. Okay, the brakes are actually good. These brakes are really good. If you're wondering how good this car holds the road, I would say that the BMW X5M does it better. I don't feel like we're talking about sport. It just doesn't feel sporty. This car feels more like a regular civilian crossover that's getting some kind of an automobile sexual harassment on a racing track. There's no sharpness. And even though it sounds cool, the numbers are average. Okay, I understand that the guys from Porsche, they're not stupid, they changed lots of things. They've changed the suspension and the software, and they also altered the work of the transmission and so on. But this car has nothing to do at the racing track. In general, it's got the same behavior as a hybrid car, with that difference that the hybrid Elephant is a little bit heavier. But honestly, if you put some good expensive tires on your Turbo S or just a regular turbo, add some similar body kit and make the car lower, those cars will feel the same. When in good hands, you won't find any difference between them. Okay, check out what we're going to do next. At first we didn't want to shoot it, but after we tried it, check this out. We're driving with the same speed as that BMW, but we're sliding off the road. I do absolutely identical movements, same speed, same trajectory behind the BMW. Check this out. You see what's going on? That car is 12 years old. Okay, look. You see it? It's the same speed, but I'm sliding out. So, what's the catch? The tires the car is wearing at the moment are one of the best tires for accelerating from 0 to 60, well, at least as I see it, and they show good results at the BMW CS. But as it turns out in the end, in some particular situations, the Michelin 4S behave themselves better. So, as a regular crossover, a beautiful and stylish one, this car is just amazing. It's reliable with perfect quality. And if you are one of those people who have the opportunity to buy such an automobile in order to emphasize your status and, of course, financial state, then this car is for you, without a doubt. Porsche. They produce lots of amazing cars, but this one is not one of them, and I'm gonna explain you why. This car could be much better if they squeezed everything out of it and stuck to their philosophy. It would be better to follow BMW's steps and make their own CS, which means make it stiffer. I expected a more uncompromising car that is ready to fight against anyone, that is ready to sacrifice its comfortability, but it's way too comfortable. It shouldn't be here. It needs racing seats. It needs to be angry. This car needs to be angry, not less than a Porsche GT3 RS, for example. So now I guess they should better start a new car from the scratch, and I'm sure they will succeed. All we have to do is just wait for it. And no matter what, despite all of this crazy situation in the world, we'll get it, and shoot a test drive with it. I'm Davidich, it's D3. I forgot to go out with a bang. take out the draggy. Sport Plus. I push this button, so now it's the max mode. Best result for today, 3.7. Now I'm more than sure that if I didn't press this button after you asked me to, you would be reproaching me till the rest of my life, saying that if I did, the car would become faster and the numbers would become better. And I'm really glad that I did it. End of discussion, we're done here.